Okay, now go to routers and this player. We are going to create a new player. Let me close all the tabs and just let's keep this player. Okay, below here we are going to create another router dot post. For creating a new post, we are going to use this post method. If you want to get all the players from our database, then we are going to use this get players and this get route. Okay, to get anything from the server, we are going to use this get, or to post or to add something in the server or database, we are going to use this post. If you want to update something, then you are going to use put. Now the path will be / and here we'll have a response model, in which format we are going to response our data. Response model, the response model we are going to create dynamically. Otherwise you can just response this layer from these models. Okay, but we are going to create a new format for a player. Okay, so let me make that simple player response. Okay, here I'm going to create a new file inside the source. From this file we are going to create a new class, that is simple player response. Here we are going to inherit base model. Okay, now let me just pass it from here. Import that base model from identic. Import base model. I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. Instead of date time, we can just keep it string. We don't need anything afterward. Let's make it string. Actually we are going to get this created at or updated at in string format, I guess. And this id, actually this name base model is same with the identic model, therefore I'm going to change it to common model. Here instead of importing base model directly to simple player response, I'm going to use it here, and I'm going to inherit this common model in this. Actually all player, match or team are going to have this id created at and updated at. Those field is common, therefore we are going to creating a common model. Then we are going to extend this common model to all the responses we are going to have. And this is optional integer. Okay, let me make it only int. Let me copy all other fields from this player model and paste it inside this response. Okay, simple player response. Instead of this field, we just need to delete all of them. Okay, let me delete them and delete them and delete them. I'm going to import optional from typing optional, and I'm going to make this player position optional. Okay, let's make it optional. Also we need to import that player position from source utils dot helpers import player position. Now we are going to import this simple player response in this player route. Okay, from src dot responses simple player response. Okay, this is the response model we just created. Then we are going to create a function for this route, async dev create player. Okay, in here we are going to have player input for this schema we are just setting this player, otherwise we can make it more customized just like we did for the user. Here we are accepting user data. For that we created a create user schema. We can do the same for this player, but now I'm not doing that. Now the next parameter will be session dependency. This one we are going to import from database from source.config.database, and this is session dev we are going to import. Okay, now let's create a try catch block. If we get any error, then we are going to just catch it here. Actually in Python it is try except, not try catch. Actually exception as e. Here I am going to print the error e and raise that error, so who is going to make the request can see what is the error. HTTP exception, this one we are going to import from FastAPI. HTTP exception. For status code I am going to set it. Actually I need to import status as well. Here the status will be HTTP underscore internal server error, and you can add little bit detail for that error. Okay, string e. Now inside this pass, just like we did for the user, I'm just going to copy and paste it here. We can do the same for the player to add a player. Here instead of user I need to put player because I'm going to say player, and I need to pass that player in here. Session add, this is going to be player. Whenever we change or we create a record in the database, we need this 4 line of code: session add, session commit, and session refresh. In session add we need to pass player, and session refresh do the same. Because our player data is already formatted, we are getting from here, we don't need this line. We can just return the player from here. Now I'm going to add a few breakpoints and click on this debug button. The project is running successfully. Let me try it out. Okay, now let's try adding a new player. Try it out. We are not going to put ID created or add or updated at field because we have set default value for those fields. Then therefore I'm just deleting them. We are stuck at the breakpoint. Then let's click on this step over. Because we don't have any error, we can successfully step over to the next line. Okay, we are successfully stepping over to the next line and returning the player. The player have all the fields they should have. Therefore we can assume that player is being created successfully. Okay, now let's see the console. It is showing error. What is that error? Let me copy this. Let's try ChatGPT to fix this error. I am creating a server with FastAPI and SQLModel, and this is the error I am getting. Colon, shift and enter. Then let's put 2 asterisk inside it. I just put the error I am getting. Now let me copy this route. This is the route. 3 backtracks. start with 3 brackets and end with 3 backticks. I also should include these response models, so let me include them. Those are my models. Okay, let me paste it here. Now let's see what is ChatGPT showing. This error occurs because your simple player response model expects created at and updated at to be strings, but they are being returned as datetime objects from the database. FastAPI cannot automatically convert those datetime objects to string unless specified. The problem is with created at and updated at field, they must be datetime, not string. Okay, because FastAPI returning them, therefore let's make them datetime. Simple player response here. Let's paste it. I need to import datetime from datetime import datetime. Okay, let's stop the server, try it again. This time we shouldn't get any error because we are successfully saving the player. Then we can just get out of that breakpoint. Now this time I am going to reload one more time. Players, create player, try it out. Let's get rid of this ID created at updated at and execute. It is showing we are getting the successful response. Player is being created, ID is true, created at, this is the time. Okay, updated at name string. Let me try one more time with a different name. Okay, it is successfully creating another player with ID 3 and this is the name of another player. Okay, go to the database in football stats player. Those are all players we have created recently. First one is name of the player. Where is the name of player string? Second player has the same name and the third player has a different name with ID of 3.